Welcome to A Moment of Zen. Time to sit back and relax as model, actress, mentor, and supermom Zen Sams takes you on a sexy and wild ride, covering the latest in film, fashion, pop culture, cryptocurrency, fintech, cannabis, and entertainment from the millennial mom's perspective. Here's your host, Zen Sams.
Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Welcome to episode 224. We're celebrating over 5.5 years on the air now. Here's to another exciting episode. It's always such a pleasure to spend my time with you on the airwaves. Thank you for tuning in every Saturday night and engaging with me on social media. That truly does make it all worthwhile. Please continue to follow me at Zen Sams. That's Zen with an X, not a Z. That's XENSAMS. And remember, all of our episodes are available directly on our YouTube channel. It's free programming to you. We release Sundays at 2 p.m. via digital streaming. And of course, you can also check us out directly on your home TV worldwide streaming platform at our own channel at mox.yourhometv.com. In our Going Deep segment brought to you by CO2 Lift in our Expert on the Microphone series, today we're joined by Dr. Cory Torgerson, a University of Toronto trained facial plastic surgeon with one of the fastest growing practices in Canada. He's going to join me to chat all about the evolution of men's aesthetics and how he's helping men boost their confidence with treatments that actually address everything from the face and body to sexual wellness. In the Out of the Ordinary segment brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut, we are chatting with Joshua Lewis. He talks to the dead and they answer back. This tech-savvy medium is redefining the afterlife. He's a spirit communicator, a researcher, and creator of the Hope Spirit Box. Joshua is offering hope in the afterlife as tech meets spirit in his groundbreaking work with the dead. This isn't ghost hunting, it's healing work. In the Clean Collective segment brought to you by Society Brands and Primal Life Organics, we're going from red carpets to real estate. Mega influencer, model, and entrepreneur Blaise Ffrench reveals the clean routine behind his hustle. In our health tip of the week brought to you by Cyspera, today we're chatting about the right steps to your healthy summer skin evening routine. Summer skincare isn't just about daytime SPF. It's also about giving your skin the chance to recover and recharge overnight. Stay tuned for Blaise Ffrench in the Clean Collective segment brought to you by Society Brands. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Westbridge Academy in Essex County, where students are seen, heard, and understood. Neurodiverse K-12 students, many facing ADHD, anxiety, depression, or aggression, discover strength through connection. With compassionate educators, therapeutic support, and the latest technology, students can master academics and go further, exploring music production, financial and automotive literacy, social media awareness, and wellness. Visit westbridgeacademy.org to learn more.
Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Welcome back. You've landed inside the Clean Collective, brought to you by Society Brands and Primal Life Organics, the revolutionary line that's saying goodbye to fluoride, chemical whiteners, and synthetic garbage. And yes, doing it all naturally. From red carpets to real estate, our next guest reveals the clean routine behind his hustle. Because when you are the brand, your smile, your skin, your energy, well, all of it speaks before you do. Today's guest is the definition of modern masculinity meets mogul energy, bachelor energy, billion-dollar smile. Blaise Ffrench is going to talk to us about the secrets to staying fresh in New York City. He's born and raised in Queens. He's an entrepreneur, an actor, a model, an athlete, an NBA agent, a real estate advisor, and a Forbes 30 Under 30 alumni with over 5.5 million followers across social media. Right. Should I repeat that one more time? I think you're getting the point. You've seen him on the big screen in Marry Me and Plan B on CBS's The Code, and walking red carpets with Gucci, Saks Fifth Avenue, and Body Armor Super Drink. He's launched brands, closed deals, and played in celebrity games for the Knicks and Mets. And now he's here to talk about something so much more intimate, the lifestyle behind the hustle. Welcome to the show, superstar.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited about our conversation today.
All right. Well, I'm going to go into education because I know you love to educate your guests and all your listeners and everyone that follows you. You do provide that. Fluoride fatigue, it's an actual thing. For decades, we were just talking about it backstage. Fluoride has been marketed as the gold standard in dental care, but recent science has started to turn that on its head. We now know that excessive fluoride exposure may be linked to thyroid dysfunction, neurotoxicity, and even weakened enamel over time. In the clean beauty world, it's clearly become public enemy number one. So, Blaise, you've worked with performance driven brands like Body Armor and Aloe. Do you think high achieving guys today are starting to take a harder look at what they're actually putting in their mouths, on their skin, and into their routines?
Absolutely, a billion percent. And I will take it a step further and say not even just high achieving anymore. I think the everyday man is starting to look at, his skincare routine, his dental routine, because, that first impression is everything. And you want to look your best and feel your best. And it's not only what you put on your body, inside your body, but on top of it as well. So I have a rigorous routine that I do, and definitely starts with dental. So yeah, high achieving men especially are paying a lot of money to maintain their look. But regular people are doing it as well. So I'm super excited where our culture and society is heading, because it is health wise as well. You have to take care of your skin. You have to take care of your mouth. So yeah, we're
Yeah.
we're definitely, yeah.
Headed in the right direction. And it's all about, you just said it, intentional living. Now, a brighter smile has become a status symbol, but most people don't realize that whitening strips and bleach based kits often come at a high cost. Damaged enamel, gum sensitivity, and long term tooth weakness. That $1 billion dazzle, it can backfire. So, your smile has been front and center in ad campaigns, movies, and press events. Do you ever feel like the pressure to look polished, especially in entertainment, pushes people into harsh or even harmful routines?
Y- o- Do I feel like the pressure? Well, honestly, my routine has started as a kid. My mom would obsess over my smile and my skin and how I take care of it. So when I got there to, on set and behind the camera, I was already into my routine already. So I feel like the world is kind of catching up to it, which is great. But big shout out to my mom for foreseeing that, I would need to take care of my smile and, make sure I brush my teeth twice a day. And flossing is something that I'm obsessed with doing because I didn't used to floss as much as I do now, but I see the effects immediately of a good floss routine and getting facials, often. And it has helped out a lot. I have
Yeah.
campaigns. Yeah.
Now, I'm going to go back to my question. The whitening strips, right? Like a lot of us use them just because we want that whiter, brighter smile. But that is harmful. So that's one modality of where society for that white smile is paying a harsh price, because even that white smile that you're getting through these harsh whitening strips is costing something, right? So the question is, how do we educate ourselves to get to a place where we could have that clean, bright smile without all the additives? And that's where sustainability comes in. That's where we start to look at being informed consumers and doing the homework and aligning ourselves with brands that not only talk the talk, but walk the walk.
Absolutely. And I think over time it has changed too, because what my mom was telling me to do when I was a kid, that routine is totally changed. Like, we were just saying that fluoride used to be looked at something that was good, and now fluoride is bad for you. So you have to continuously educate yourself because, what you put in your body and on top of your body is changing. So,
Yeah,
um,
I'm
yeah,
glad you said that, because now people are going to research, is fluoride really bad for you? But the answer is absolutely yes. Now I'm going
yeah,
to pivot a little bit to the clean grooming as self-respect, because that's, for me, that's what it is. If you have self-respect, you're groomed and you're clean, more importantly. From NFL locker rooms to boardrooms at Four Seasons, Blaise, you are everywhere. Men are rethinking what self-care looks like. So clean deodorant, LED whitening, and natural grooming aren't just nice to have. They're about confidence, first impressions, and that long-term wellness that we're talking about. So between your film work, your athlete clients, and your modeling campaigns, how do you define clean living today, and has your approach evolved over the years? I know you just started saying about fluoride. So what are you doing differently now?
I go see my dentist, like cleanings. I used to get a cleaning, I guess maybe once a year was something that was standard. And now I'm getting cleanings maybe 4 times a year, if not more. I honestly wish I could get a cleaning like every day. Just the effects I feel, afterwards. And when it comes to like facials, I'm getting facials at least, once every 2 weeks.
Wow. Most
Yeah.
men don't even get a facial once a month.
Yeah, we gotta change, especially men, because I think like taking care of yourself has always been a woman dominated space, and it was intimidating for men to want to take care of themselves because we're supposed to be so macho. However, we do want to attract beautiful women, and what they like is clean and professional and sharp. So you have to kind of keep up that rigorous. It's not even rigorous, but just you got to keep up that routine,
Consistency, yeah.
that
And let me
consistency. And
ask you, do you actually read the labels and look at the ingredients and consider the ingredients before you just plunge into a purchase?
definitely, definitely. With everything, I'm reading the labels. I can almost look at something, the face of, the product, and tell if it's natural or not, because there are signals that'll let you know if a product is natural. But you definitely do have to read the ingredients. But with social media, words spreads fast, and the products you need to use, you'll know about for sure.
Yeah, it's a refreshing take because clean living doesn't mean perfect. It means conscious, what you're talking about. It means asking yourself, what am I feeding my body, my mind, and my image? And clearly, you've built a lifestyle that mirrors your message, right? That's why
Yeah.
you're so successful. So let's talk about your bachelor survival kit. Let's play this out. You've got a power meeting at noon, a Knicks courtside appearance at 5, and a date at 9. Okay, what are three non-negotiables in your bachelor bag to stay fresh, fly, and unfazed all day long?
I definitely would say my floss and my toothbrush, my Philips Sonicare, diamond toothbrush is a must. Um, I would say chapstick, making sure my lips are not chapped, is one. I mean, is two, and th- and then three, probably just having like a brush to make sure my hair is like brushed together and looking good. So those three are kind of a must, but the most important is my floss and my toothbrush, because your breath is super important. So
No.
yeah, your teeth and everything is one thing, but your breath is immediately, you can change that immediately. So that's something I'm super conscious about.
And it's interesting because the Clean Collective segment is brought to you by Society Brands and Primal Life Organics, and they happen to have the most incredible line of products that are all organic, teeth whitening strips that will not hurt your enamel, that are sustainable, and they even have that cinnamon hint of extra sensation for that power breath that we're talking about. But they have great products, and I love that I we're not even talking about their products, but the fact that you're talking about how important oral care is to you is such a great message to send. Number one, the generation that you got to take care of your teeth, right? This is not just, oh, we'll go to the dentist couple of once or twice a year. This is, you got to put your best foot forward. So I'm glad that you mentioned that in your arsenal of tools. Now, it's a New York answer. It's efficient, it's elevated, and always ready for the after party. I mean, you make clean confidence look effortless, and I know plenty of listeners are taking notes. Now, my last question to you. As a bachelor, I'm sure you've had lots and lots of dates. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt immediately that this was not going to work, And what was that cringe moment?
I guess maybe the way someone eats. I think I went on a date and they ate really like barbaric, I guess I would say. Like, I
Well,
don't want you
that's
to.
definitely a red flag.
Yeah, totally. Like, you don't have to like eat like a princess and like not eat, but I guess how you're ordering and like, taking shots in between. It was crazy. Like we were eating our dinner and she's taking shots and just like I was so embarrassed because I took her to like one of my favorite spots and they were looking at me like, this is who you bringing here?
Oh,
She's
no.
like not qualified to be here.
Not
So
qualified. Well, thank you for keeping it real and clean and conscious, whether it's business, branding, or brushing up. We've got a lot to learn from the way you show up in the world, my friend.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. This is amazing. And I love the conversation. So I hope, everyone listens and works on that routine for sure.
For more on Blaise, follow him on the gram at Blaise Ffrench. That's 2 F's. Blaise, BLAISEFFRENCH across all platforms. And if today's conversation got you thinking twice about your grooming game, you can visit PrimalLifeOrganics.com and explore the full clean collection. No fluoride, no parabens, no compromise. Until next time, stay intentional, stay inspired, and most of all, stay fresh. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. That was the Clean Collective segment brought to you by Society Brands. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Primal Life Organics. Still brushing with chemical paste and fluoride-era formulas? Upgrade to Primal Life's tooth powder, powered by enamel-building nano-hydroxyapatite and real organic cinnamon oil to naturally whiten, strengthen, and restore your mouth's mineral balance. No foam, no dyes, just science-backed minerals that really work. Cleaner, whiter, stronger. That's the Primal Life promise. Visit PrimalLifeOrganics.com/Zen for 15% off. Detox your smile today.
Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up next in the Going Deep segment, brought to you by CO2 Lift in our Expert on the Microphone series. Today we're joined by Dr. Cory Torgerson, a University of Toronto trained facial plastic surgeon with one of the fastest growing practices in Canada. From his state-of-the-art multi-specialty clinic, Dr. Torgerson has become a world leader in male-centered treatments, from facial cosmetic surgery, injectables, minimally invasive treatments, to hair transplants. He's passionate about safety and best practice, actively involved with several national and international complications committees. Having a broad research background, he has published extensively and traveled internationally, training, mentoring, and presenting new techniques and innovations. He's going to join me right now to chat all about the evolution of men's aesthetics and how he's helping men boost their confidence with treatments that address everything from the face and body to sexual wellness. Welcome to the show, superstar.
I love it. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yes, let's dive right in. So while women still make up the majority of aesthetic patients, in recent years, there's been a noticeable increase in men seeking out aesthetic treatments and procedures. It's crazy. This is a huge growth curve. From your perspective, what's driving this shift? And how do you approach consultations with male patients who may be new to the idea of aesthetic treatments to make them feel both comfortable and informed?
You know, there's this concept of optimization that men are banking and buying into. And for sure, it's driven by social media. There's no question about it. AI is driving it as well. But men are really coming to the point where they're saying, it's okay to feel good about myself. Men are a little different than women because when they buy into something, they buy into it. And we really, really want to make sure that whatever we're doing as dudes, it's safe and it is based upon some good science. So once we have that piece, men are generally in, and I'm able to provide them an environment where they just feel completely surrounded by dudes, from, whoever answers the phone to who's doing their consultation to the nurses. We keep it very, very male centric so that they can sort of bypass sort of all these, concepts of shame and vanity and all these kind of old concepts that are in the past.
Yes, Oh, it's all about breaking those stigmas, and I think you're at the forefront of doing that. Congratulations. Now, what are some of the most popular procedures or treatments, if you will, your male patients are requesting these days? And specifically when it comes to the face and body contouring or even hair restoration. We'll get to sexual wellness in a minute, but what are the most popular ones?
Guys are into absolutely everything. It is from from the face. We want to contour our jawlines. We want to have strong, mewed jaws. We want to have nice contours in our face and our bodies. So procedures that address that, from sweating to snoring to hair. I want to have great skin. I want my skin to glow and pop just like a woman would. I want good skincare. I want the lasers. I want it all.
Wow, you're like a genie in a bottle. Ding-dong. Now, now let's shift to male sexual wellness, an area where aesthetics often overlaps with function and performance. So we see it all the time. And I know you offer several male enhancement treatments in your department, including your signature big shot protocol.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
love it. Can you walk us through what this entails and how it addresses both aesthetic and functional concerns for male patients looking to enhance performance and confidence? Big shot.
Yeah.
Take it away. Take it away.
So the big shot, I didn't call it the medium shot. I didn't call it the small shot. We do something noteworthy. And when you think about it, male enhancement is exactly the same concept as a female getting breast enhancement. It's whether they have their clothes on or off, that confidence that you can get by feeling legitimate in your own skin is huge. It's huge. It's huge. And so we really, really offer something that brings together two divergent things, something that's safe and long lasting and something that is reversible. Okay. So we want both. We want to be able to not mess up our junk, but we want to be able to have it last a long time. And that's what the big shot is. And it really, really is about size. We combine two amazing things that are natural, PRP and hyaluronic acid, and it's injected in the right volume, in the right space to be able to provide length and girth. It doesn't last 4 to 6 months. We're talking years.
Wow.
All right. We're talking years. And the nice thing about it is that if you decided that you didn't want it at any point in time, you can instantly dissolve it.
Filler doesn't last that long on my face.
That's right.
That's great.
So the magic is when you combine these two products, you get this very stable collagenous layer that's formed. And it doesn't break down very fast. That's the magic. And so we patented it and we trademarked it, and we made it something that we can do in a safe way that brings together all those good concepts. And you don't feel like you just put all this money in and then it's gone in 6 months.
Yeah. And so when you're saying it lasts years, are we talking 1 year, 2 years, 5 years?
Yeah. So it's broken down about 10% per year. So that means at 6 years out, at 4 years out, you're about 60% of the product.
And how much of an increase in penis size can you get, length and width-wise? Like, what is the percentage?
Yeah, we get inches. We do lots of measurements. We're talking inches. So we're getting girth and we're getting length, up to 2 inches plus.
Wow,
depending.
2 inches?
2 inches plus, and it doesn't go away. And we're talking the big shot. We're not talking. This is not about functionality per se, as it is about form. We're talking about male beauty here.
Yeah, go big or go home, baby.
Go big or go home. Absolutely. And that's the thing. It's about that energy that you get when you walk out, of the shower and you see yourself and you're like, I feel legitimate in my skin. Or, you're in the gym and, you got to take your kid off and you're not like,
Yeah.
Or we're in front of your partner. A lot of people think this is about sex. It is a little bit about sex, but it's a lot about how you feel in your own skin. And that is power. And when you feel good in your skin, you change the world.
I'm excited for all you men. Now let's chat about CO2 Lift, because we know CO2 Lift is a non-invasive, clinically proven, and medical-grade carboxy gel that not only offers monotherapy benefits, but it's popularly used in combo therapy, both pre and post procedure. And even going beyond this, something many people don't realize is that men can also use the CO2 Lift Pro on their penis. Now, we've discussed a few popular procedures that you offer at your practice from the face to the body. Can you walk us through how you integrate CO2 Lift into your treatment plans to enhance both the recovery and the results with, what regarding as well as the penis, and break down specifically what exactly is happening with this topical?
So CO2 ProLift is carboxy gel. It's based on amazing science. And really, this is about, a hyperbaric oxygen treatment that's local. So that, there's so many benefits of having high concentration of oxygen after any kind of treatment, to be able to speed up healing, to be able to reduce complications, increase blood vessels, increase collagenesis, rescue tissue. So this treatment we use immediately after we would do a treatment like the Big Shot, for example, and we put it on for about an hour, and there's this high intense oxygenation of the tissue. And what that does is just bring everything to the forefront in terms of the best results. So that's what I want to offer my patients, the best results. Can I make them heal faster? Can I provide them, lower complication risk? Can I get them what they want faster? If the answer is yes, do it. Can it be done safely? Absolutely. And my patients happier? 1,000,000%. And the feedback that we were getting from our male patients is compared to when we were doing Big Shot without it, was like, wow, this is like easy. The recovery was easy. The tissue looked healthier, faster. It was dramatic, and I've incorporated it in all of my procedures for the male. It has so many uses, having products like that are game changing when it comes to, just being able to be worried and, is this normal? Is this amount of swelling normal? And then, can I get a better result? Is this going to last longer? Win, 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 win. CO2 Pro Lift.
There you go. Now, in addition to the rise in male patients seeking out these treatments, we've also noticed a rise in patients specifically seeking non-surgical and non-invasive treatment options. Why do you think this shift is happening, and how are you meeting the demand in your practice?
Well, with all kinds of non-surgical things, it's always about the same thing. It's about, downtime. And, non-surgical procedures, there's a lower downtime, and they're often more cost effective. And they often come with the ability to be able to do them repetitively and nobody knowing about them. And that has utility, especially in economies like ours right now, and so the drive to do non-surgical things has really kept up with the surgical. And I think finding that niche or combining the two really, really has its utility. So effective, lower cost, lower downtime. I think these are the primary drivers of the non-surgical. But, again, guys are doing everything that women are doing. And I think that openness is just increasing.
Now, last question before we wrap up here. As more men become open to aesthetic treatments, do you think we're seeing a broader shift in how male self-care is perceived, not in terms of how they're initiating it, but perceived? And how do you hope conversations surrounding men aesthetics and wellness continue to evolve, both inside and outside the treatment room?
Yeah, I think the perception of men pursuing beauty and the concept of beauty and optimization is only growing. I think as we see movie stars and and social media influencers looking after themselves, we want to emulate that. We want to be like the people around us, and it's really only going to grow. I want conversations like that to grow because it shifts it away from vanity. The concept of beauty and optimization is godly. God made beauty, and we should embrace it. It has its place. It's not everything, but we don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, and we want to look after ourselves, and we want to care about ourselves in ways that are safe and natural. So shifting it away from an ugly concept like vanity to one that's saying, hey, I look after my temple. I want to do everything that I can to make sure that my temple is healthy and safe, is a win. I think it's good for everybody.
Yes, shifting it away from vanity. That's it. I love it. I love what you said, because for the longest time, when men wanted to be proactive about their looks, their skin, their hair, their nails, it was that. Oh, he's so vain.
He's
Oh,
so vain.
what is, what are you doing? Getting your skin, getting a facial? You're a guy, and then that psychological effect is a domino effect to dissuade that very human being from even pursuing anything proactive about their skin, their health, or their body, right?
Right.
And it's a double standard, and it shouldn't be the case. And I
Right.
love that your patients are dads, entrepreneurs, business people, artists, actors, celebrities, and communities across the board, right? So you're doing such a great service. Thank you so much. I'm thanking you on behalf of all your male clients.
Say no to shame.
Say no to shame and no to vain.
Say no to vain. I love
Yeah.
it. No
All
to
right.
shame, no to vain.
That was our Going Deep segment brought to you by CO2 Lift, and that was the incredible Dr. Cory Torgerson, renowned facial plastic surgeon and leader in male-centered treatments. Definitely check out his websites to learn more about what he offers at sovereignmale.ca, torontohairtransplantclinic.com, and drtorgerson.com. And of course, he's all over the gram. You can check him out at those same very handles at Cory Torgerson, at Toronto Hair Transplant Clinic, and at Sovereign Male. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by CO2 Lift. As we age, our skin loses moisture and elasticity, causing wrinkled skin. You can reverse this aging process with CO2 Lift. CO2 Lift utilizes the powerful benefits of carbon dioxide to lift, tighten, and regenerate your skin. This simple, painless at-home carboxytherapy treatment is scientifically proven to reverse the aging process. You will see reduction in wrinkles, increase luminosity, and improve pigmentation, sagging, skin tone, and radiance.
For more information or to order CO2 Lift, ask your skincare professional or go to co2lift.com.
Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. In our health tip of the week brought to you by Cyspera, today we're chatting about the right steps to your healthy summer skin evening routine. Summer skin isn't just about daytime SPF. It's also about giving your skin the chance to recover and recharge overnight. At night, dermatologists suggest using gentle cleansers to remove sweat, pollution, and sunscreen buildup, a key step to prevent clogging your pores and irritation. After cleansing, follow up with pigment-correcting ingredients to maintain an even tone and soothing hydrators to support skin repair all while you sleep. And remember, consistency is key. Take the time to care for your skin at night. It's just as important as protecting it during the day. That was our health tip of the week brought to you by Cyspera. Be sure to check them out online at cyspera.com and on the gram at Cyspera. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Cyspera. If skin discoloration is making it hard to find your Zen, Cyspera can help. Stubborn pigmentation, dark spots, and uneven skin tone concerns go beyond the surface, affecting both confidence and self-expression. In a sea of skincare choices, Cyspera stands apart. Backed by science and trusted by dermatologists worldwide, Cyspera is powered by the advanced cysteamine isobonic amide complex, delivering clinically proven results and effectively targeting mild to persistent discoloration while restoring the skin's natural glow. Unlike harsh treatments, Cyspera is formulated for all skin types, including sensitive areas, ensuring visible improvements without irritation. Whether pigmentation is a new concern or a long-standing struggle, Cyspera works in harmony with the skin to bring balance, clarity, and renewed confidence. Cyspera is science-driven skincare for confidence that shines. Find your skin zen and restore your glow with Cyspera today by heading to Cyspera.com.
Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. This is the Out of the Ordinary segment brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut. He talks to the dead and, yeah, they answer back. The tech-savvy medium who's redefining the afterlife. He's a spirit communicator, a researcher, and he's the creator of the Hope Spirit Box. Joshua Lewis is offering hope in the afterlife as tech meets spirit in his groundbreaking work with the dead. Now, according to the Pew Research, over 75% of Americans believe in an afterlife. But how many can say they've actually heard from it? Well, today's guest doesn't need a Ouija board or psychic hotline. He talks to the dead and they just simply answer back. Joshua Lewis is a spiritual communicator and an afterlife researcher who has spent the last 13 years bridging science, technology, and intuition to capture undeniable proof of life after death. And he's got the audio, video, and real-time responses to prove it. From the Hope Spirit Box, which is an app that allows users to hear potential spirit voices, to his moving book, Finding Hope in the Afterlife, he's challenging skeptics, comforting the grieving, and redefining what's possible in human consciousness. This isn't ghost hunting, it's healing work. It's tech-enabled transcendence, if you will. And it's all part of his mission to bring peace, closure, and hope to both the living and the stuck spirits trying to move on. Let's welcome spirit communicator, researcher, and creator of the Hope Spirit Box to the show, Joshua Lewis. Welcome, superstar.
Hey, Zen. Well, thanks for having me on. It's an honor.
All right, let's dive right in. I'm going to go to the science behind spirit tech.
That was a great intro, by the way. Can you send me the copy on that? That was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go into the tech behind it. So ITC, instrumental transcommunication,
Right.
has been studied by parapsychologists for decades,
Right.
with real-world experiments conducted at places like Princeton's Pear Lab and the University of Arizona, right? So this isn't just fringe anymore. It's measurable, repeatable, and it's gaining ground. So what exactly is ITC and how did it become your life's calling?
Yeah, it's a great question. It is. It's no longer fringe, like you said. It really started with guys like, Thomas Edison, Nikola Tesla, a famous psychologist, Latvian psychologist. So there's many. It's over 100 years ago, and using apparatuses and different devices to actually capture real responses from the other side. And, you could use radios and voice recorders, and some have used TVs with the white noise and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different techniques and things that people can utilize, in addition to our intuitive abilities.
Now, I want to chat about what happens when we die based on the data. Okay, so a landmark study published in the Lancet showed that over 18% of cardiac arrest survivors reported vivid, structured experiences while technically dead. So your sessions seem to echo these themes: light, peace, recognition. Based on your communication patterns, what has your work shown you about what really happens when we die?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think, and I'd be kind of crazy or arrogant to say I know what happens to us when we die, because I think there's still a lot of things to discover, and we don't know until we actually go back there. But based on what the responses I'm getting, tunnels of light is mentioned a lot. I do have a lot of souls on the other side talk about still seeing, buildings and structures and things like that. It's like they're perfectly fine waking up from a dream, and they still have their, quote unquote body in a sense. A lot of times when they come to me, they show me their body and they're presenting an outfit, or they're presenting, something on them, or they're doing something. And then I ask them through the box or the equipment, I'm saying, I'm seeing this and you're showing me this. Is that right? And they'll say, yes, that's correct. So they're okay. I asked someone the other day if they heard or a loved one asked if they heard a voicemail, and they said, not with my ears, but I heard it. So there's a lot, to it. Some people are still dealing with something. If they brought some of the trauma or the regret or resentment with them from here, they're still dealing with that. They're okay. But many others, the majority of many others are experiencing a very blissful, peaceful, wonderful existence on the other side. But that's still a journey, though, for them.
Yeah, that warms my heart. And there's clearly a through line here across science, spirituality, and firsthand encounters. And that sense of continuity is oddly comforting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now let's chat turning pain into purpose and the book, right? So grief is a silent epidemic. I mean, it affects over 10 million Americans annually. And your book, Finding Hope in the Afterlife, has resonated because it speaks to both belief and brokenness, if that's the bottom line. So what inspired you to write the book, and what did you personally need hope for at that time?
Well, I mean, as it says in my bio, I had a very troubled past until I was about, 24, 25 years old. I dealt with a lot of difficulties and stuff. So I overcame that and I live a very productive life now. But, when I was going through that, uh, well, I knew once I got through that I needed to share my story, my experience, strength, and hope pretty much. And then in addition to that, I was, sharing a lot of the research that I had, done and the evidence that I've captured. So the book is kind of this mix of my story and what I've overcome myself mixed with, all of the research and all of the things, the facts that I have found. And, I disclose a lot of sources and videos. There's links in my book, kind of, you can, go to my channel and watch some of the things that I've done. So it's this all around kind of experience. And I think, a lot of people have reacted very, very well to it.
Yeah, it's so moving to hear that this wasn't just a professional pursuit, that it was personal.
For
And the
sure.
fact that you turned your healing into a guidebook for others makes it that much more powerful.
Thank you.
So the Hope Spirit Box, healing in your pocket, essentially. I mean,
Mhm.
with over 100,000 downloads, your app, the Hope Spirit Box is clearly opening doors for everyday
Yep.
people to connect with loved ones. I mean, unlike entertainment apps, it uses randomized audio, phonetics, and machine learning principles to allow intelligent responses to emerge. I love how those became your checklist, right? Because it has to all make sense. So how exactly does the Hope Spirit Box work?
Yeah.
What do users need to understand before they start?
So the Hope Spirit Box app and method is really giving spirit, souls on the other side, human sound without words. So we don't have, on the other side, we don't have vocal cords and we communicate more telepathically. If I had a voice recorder and I recorded a spirit speaking, it's an EVP, electronic voice phenomenon, which is why it sounds like like a whisper, because there's no tone to the voice. So when you give a spirit, a soul on the other side, actual tone, human sound, they can take that sound and form their own responses with it. And that's what the Hope Spirit Box does. And so many people have just downloaded it, utilizing their own connection, having some belief, willingness, some patience, some persistence, and have had great results. I mean, I get recordings sent to me all the time from people showing me the results that they've got. So, it's just an amazing thing. Now, not everyone can use it perfectly, and it's not going to work perfectly for everyone. But I tell people, patience, persistence, and utilizing your own connection. If you use those three things, you will eventually have a good result with it.
I love that you're not selling miracles, but that you're offering tools,
Yeah.
right? This feels less like ghost hunting and more like guided introspection with a potential lifeline on the other side.
For
It's
sure.
brilliant.
For sure.
Now let's answer the skeptics. So a meta-analysis published in Frontiers in Psychology found that experiences of after-death communication and even spontaneous ones often reduced anxiety and depression, regardless of whether the experiencer believed beforehand. So in short, it's helping people, even skeptics. Now, what do you say to critics who label this work, what you're doing, as illusion, grief projection, or just pseudoscience?
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you're skeptical and you're respectful, I will answer any question you have. I will, everything I do is very transparent and I'm willing to answer anything. It's the disrespectful kind that I have to kind of, shuffle off to the side. I can't deal with that. But if you're skeptical, I don't blame you. And I would be one of them too if I wasn't doing this myself. So I have to remember that. And even I have my moments sometimes where I'm like, is this really happening? Or did I really get that response? What I do know is that I've worked with many institutes. I've had PhDs study my work and perform or conduct cold blind experiments on me with amazing results. I've gotten, fact after fact after fact from sessions of things that I could never know. And that's not just with my mediumship ability, but with the sessions, the box sessions themselves. So, what I have found is that, science can only prove what society is willing to accept. And I know that's a very crazy kind of statement, but that is the truth. I find that real hard-nosed skeptics with their intellectual pride sometimes, are not willing to take in new information. They're not willing to consider new information. If it goes against their beliefs, it's hard. It's almost, that cognitive dissonance that is created within them. And so they have to work past that. So it's kind of a take it or leave it, type of thing. But if they're open to look at the results, the visual, the audio, the factual stuff that's coming through, it's hard to deny the evidence if you're being honest with yourself, which
Right.
it's not always easy.
Now let's talk about what you just said. So you have undeniable evidence, right?
Mhm.
You said it speaks for itself. You've documented real names,
Right.
phrases, and emotional nuances that could have not been guessed.
Correct.
Some of your recordings even show full sentences forming through randomized audio clips.
Right.
What's one moment of evidence where either audio or visual that stops you in your tracks?
Is the Gabby Petito case. And it's because I did such extensive work talking with her, and even her mother and I got involved as far as, reaching out to her. And so I would say Gabby did one of the best jobs that I've ever had in spirit communication and coming through and explaining that who killed her, how it happened, that her murderer was dead before autopsy reports, all before any authorities released information. So they're right there, just in that case alone with her, really proved the legitimacy of this work. Not to mention so many other cases that I've worked on. But I give a lot of credit to Gabby in that whole case because of what she was able to do in our communication.
So what piece of the puzzle did Gabby help you solve?
Well, again, she came through and said that Brian killed her before we knew that. That how it happened before the autopsy report was released. That Brian was dead before his body was found. There were other things about what was in the journal, that he wrote that came out in our sessions before, again, he was found or the journal was found. So there was a lot of information. At one point, like I said, her mother contacted me and said that she had been watching our sessions all along and just knew it was her daughter. And then we ended up doing a session, to reach out to her daughter, with her and her stepmom. So it was really remarkable what Gabby was able to push through. Again, all before autopsy reports or authorities released any information at all.
That's spine tingling. And it's not just what they say, it's how specific and emotionally relevant the messages are, it seems. That's what makes this feel real. Now let's chat spirit rescue versus ghost chasing. I love this topic. So most of what we see in media is very exploitative, right? Night vision, jump scares, haunted houses.
Right.
But you work to help spirits move on. That's
Right.
not ghost chasing, it's rescue work. So how do you help spirits cross over? And what makes your work so different from what we see on TV?
Yeah. So HOPE is an acronym. For me, it started as Helpers of Paranormal Entities. And that was really the work that I was doing is just, I have a faith. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. I do believe in the big J up there, the big, Yeshua, I call him, and he's my guy, and in a non-religious way. So I call on that faith and I trust in that faith. So if I focus on light or if I pray for someone on the other side, I have countless recordings of them saying, thank you, I feel it. I'm receiving the help. I'm feeling the light. It's not that they're stuck necessarily. It's that they're mentally stuck. Sometimes we can be mentally stuck in life. We can still go to the store and go places. So we're not like stuck in our home, but we may be mentally stuck. And that could be the case on the other side. They're hung up on a resentment, a regret. They can't forgive themselves for something. So sometimes they need just a little push with love. And all of a sudden it opens up other doors for them. And that's really what I do. I pray for every soul I communicate with whether they need it or not. I don't care. I just pray for them, and I envision light pouring down on them. And, it sounds kind of hokey and whatever, but again, they are sharing with me through the devices and the equipment that what I'm doing mentally, emotionally, spiritually with them is working and helping.
Oh, you've humanized the spirit world.
For sure.
This is less about fear and more about compassion. I mean, it's emotional CPR, not spectacle.
100%. 100%.
Now let's chat about the next frontier. So we're entering an era where AI can mimic voices,
Yeah.
quantum computers are mapping consciousness, and VR is stimulating these alternate realities. The veil is thinner than ever, Josh. I mean, technologically and spiritually. What's next for your research into the afterlife, and where do you believe this work is headed in the next 5 to 10 years?
It's a great question. I don't really know. I thought I knew back then. I don't really know. All I know is that I just keep doing what I'm doing. I think that there's plenty of mediums out there, and I am one of them. And I've done over 3,500 readings for people just without equipment, just my intuitive ability. But I think that the ITC, the technology mixed with the intuitive is important. And I think it's kind of what's next. And I see that it's ahead of its time still. So I don't know where it's going. I know that my job is to keep pushing forward, not to proselytize in any way or to try to push an agenda. It's just to share what I'm getting and help people. Now hope more, stands more for helping other people evolve as opposed to just helping, paranormal entities. So it's really about helping everyone alive or on the other side. And so I'm going to keep sharing it. I think the AI thing is interesting. It does kind of, I don't use much of AI for I don't use Chat GPT a lot or anything like that because I'm still kind of, not with it. I know it's the wave of the future in a way, but so I'm just big on developing myself, meditation, helping myself get to, to be a better person and sharing that journey with others and letting them take from it what they want. I think that's really what I'm going to do. So keep working on the app, keep working on my sessions, and, probably write another book at some point.
I love that your vision doesn't just sit in the past. It really just pushes us forward. It's clear that you're not trying to prove death exists. You're trying to prove connection never ends, right? And that's the
right.
most important thing.
Yep.
Well, we're at the end of our date, my friend. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
on. It was so much fun chatting with you. I learned so
Absolutely.
much. Can't wait to have you back on.
I'll be on anytime you want.
To explore more of Joshua's work and love it the way I do, you could visit hopeparanormal.com. You could download the Hope Spirit Box app, and you could follow him at hope_paranormal. And he's on TikTok and on YouTube as well. This has been the Out of the Ordinary segment brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut, because sometimes the greatest healing comes from out of this world. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut.
Discover the refreshing taste of 100% pure coconut water that actually tastes great. Naturally sweet with no artificial flavors or added sugar. It's packed with electrolytes to keep you hydrated throughout your day. And with 10% of profits going to charity, every sip makes a difference. Pure taste, pure goodness. Experience nature's Gatorade. Visit Once Upon a Coconut or naturesgatorade.com.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Your Home TV with Kathy Ireland and their channel partners. Head to yourhometv.com for free, family-friendly programming, streaming 24/7.
Are you looking to build a new home? Think about building a barn-dominium. There's just something about getting away from it all. Country living, fresh air, and outdoor entertainment. Watch luxury barn-dominium tours on Your Home TV and let Stacy Lynn, the barn-dominium lady, take you on a journey through her barn-dominium designs.
Tune in to A Moment of Zen, Saturday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. on 710 WOR, the voice of New York.
Well, that's a wrap, my dear friends. Remember to join me right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, every Saturday night from 9 to 10 p.m. Or you could head to 710WOR.iHeart.com/A Moment of Zen. Also remember that we're live on Traverse TV Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern. YouTube Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern, and all of our episodes are available on Your Home TV, digital worldwide streaming platform. You could head directly to our channel at mox.yourhometv.com. It's 100% free programming for you. Thank you for listening to A Moment of Zen. It's been an absolute pleasure being your host. Thanks again to all of our sponsors that continue to make this show possible. And remember that happiness is the only thing that multiplies when you share it. We'll be back next week.